Coming. Here we are. Okie dokie. Thank you so much for being here, whether you are live or on the recording. I have actually really been loving doing these webinars, and now that I have a presentation working, that is also an added bonus. What I am creating these webinars for is to speak to the topics that are coming through really prominently for a lot of my clients. They're coming through in the conversations. These are also the topics that I have really taken a deep dive on my own, in my own work, in my own necessity. And this one especially, I've spent a lot of time really working on and understanding self-worth, what it means, what it feels like, what gets in the way of it, why we struggle with it, where it is, and I'm going to speak to that some more. But this piece, self-worth, I believe it is just like such the catalyst for everything else that we want to maybe try or expand into or receive or give within our life. Like this piece of really understanding how much power we have over influencing our self-worth. So valuable and game-changing, life-changing, but not just for you. I spoke to a beautiful client about this today. Like when we do this work for us, it ripples outward. And you don't need to do anything. But this is real. And what I mean by that is you don't have to now then go, okay, well, now I have to teach everybody else. Just by making this change yourself, people start to notice, people start to catch on, they feel your energy and your vibration. I talk about the energy and the vibration of ourselves a lot, our frequency. They feel that and they learn from observing. And I really want that too. And if we could live in a world where we, and I've said this before, and I love this quote from Brene Brown, if we could live in a world where we all feel as though when we walk in a room, we absolutely belong there, we don't need anyone else to tell us that we do, we just do, then the world would be a different place. And that's what I really started to explore when I get into this topic, is that no one person on this planet is worth any more or any less than anyone else. However, we make decisions about that in a very different way. We decide through the actions of others that we are less than or smaller than or bigger than or whatever it is, or that we're valued by a certain thing, that means that others are worth more than us, or that we need to withdraw compared to what others have available to them. That just ain't true. You are as worthy as any other person on this planet. And it takes work. We don't always believe that. I don't always believe that. However, I now know that when those thoughts come in, that means that I am in change. It means that when self-doubt, or those fears, or those things that bring down my self-worth, they are telling me that there is change here. They're also showing me something that I still believe about myself that isn't true. I'm going to bring in some more know-how about that in a mo. As I go, please share questions. I am going to try not to talk too fast. I do sometimes have a tendency to do that. Just going to move my screen down a little. In saying that, I'm going to pop down to the right, and here we go. Are you ready? I'm really excited about this, because those of you, this might be your first webinar, but if you were on the last two, I went, oh, here's the slides, and nothing happened. But what is going to happen? Yes. So exciting. So that's my first one. But here we are. We're here to talk about self-worth. I have some very simple slides for you. I'm also going to attach them to the recording that you will get at the end of this. And I'm going to share these with you as reminders and as quotes, as poignant parts to really, I like to call it trigger, because we have a lot of triggers. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot that aren't necessarily positive. So how about we balance that out with some positive ones. That's why we create these beautiful memories and emotions. Third time a charm. Yes, that's exactly right. I'm paying attention to the chatty chat. Okay, are you ready? Let's explore the self-worth topic. And that's what this webinar is about. It's about me really giving you some things to think about, some information about like where we're really at with this. So before I guide you into some things that you may, because this is a very common reaction, start to judge yourself about. So what happens when we start to see what we may have been a part of in our suffering, we automatically go to judging ourselves for being that way. I am going to ask you to receive this information as this is information for change. This is your fuel for learning. So can you be here with compassion for yourself? Can you see that judgment coming in and go, no, nah, I'm learning. This is fuel for change. This is information. I'm not going to judge myself here. Because what happens is we start to learn the ways that we may have been in our own way, and we go, oh, I'm a bad person, proof, see ya, I'm just going to stay in this for a bit. Please don't do that. Let's look at this as information for change and fuel for learning. So let's come on the ride with me. If you were here in the room, I'd be like, can you repeat after me? Compassion and non-judgment. That's what I'm asking of you. That's all I ask. And the rest is just sit back and receive. You might be taking notes. I'm a note taker, so if I was on the listening end, that would be me. Here we go. Look at these slides working. Yes. What is worthy? What is worthy, and where is it? So let's start with what is worthy. So self-worth is a deep understanding that we are inherently valuable, because this exact opposite is happening when we are really feeling and we are judging ourselves and we're in that comparison and that doubt and that fear. We do not feel valuable. Regardless of so this is where we feel, understanding that we are inherently valuable, regardless of our external situations or achievements. It's not something that can be earned through success or external validation, but rather something that we are born with. When we recognize our worth, we stop seeking approval for external measures and success to define us. We stop comparing ourselves to others and embrace the truth that we are worthy of love, respect, and all the good things that life has to offer, simply because we exist. Self-worth comes from within. So that question, where is it? Self-worth comes from within. It's about knowing that we are enough as we are. And I know that as I'm saying this, the insecure parts of yourselves are doing a big old eye roll, going, this ain't for me. Nah, this is woo-woo, or this is weird, or this is. So I invite you to pay attention to that. That's your insecurities trying to get you out here, because this is uncomfy. But this is a good uncomfy. So let's keep going. We're enough as we are with all our strengths and flaws. It's about recognizing our inherent dignity and letting go of the need for others to affirm our value. Once we start living from a place of self-worth, we make empowered decisions, set healthy boundaries, and live in alignment with our true self. In today's world, we often tie our worth to achievements, appearances, money, our interactions with others, and what others think of us. But true self-worth is unshakable. It doesn't depend on the opinions or judgments of others. When we embrace our worth, we can live authentically, confidently, and with a deep sense of inner peace. Whew. I wrote that because I wanted to really get my message across. It's about understanding that but it's not anywhere out there. Your self-worth is you decide. So the bonus to that is that you get to give that to yourself. You are in control. And it is a authentically beautiful place to live. It isn't a switchy flick. Okay, I'm good. I'm worthy for the rest of my life. It is definitely a work in progress, and things keep coming up to test that. That's where the boundaries come in, healthy boundaries. What challenges my worth? Who challenges my worth? How much am I going to let them impact me? All a work in progress. If some of this overwhelms you, it's okay. I'll say it again. If questions come up, hit me up. If I don't answer them straight away, it's all good. I'll be either I'm about to address it or I will at the end. As I said there, it's not something that is delivered to you by something or someone else. Self-worth is something that you decide. Something that you decide. Let that be empowering. So again, the insecure part of you might be going, this is too much, this is overwhelming, I can't do this. None of that is true. None of that is true. It is about learning and moving towards the decision for yourself. I know I get real serious on some of this. It's because it matters so much to me. It's because I lived in the suffering for such a long time. I lived it for years in constant judgment, comparison, lack of self-worth, fear and doubt. Literally, that was all I did inside my own head. It was all problems. It was all what could go wrong. It was all fear. And it was awful. And it doesn't have to be that way. And you can, and I'm proof of that, you can get to a point where you actually start to hear your self-support. You start to hear yourself say, actually, no, that ain't right for me. Or yes, I can do this. I can figure it out. There is a next level confidence that can come through when you choose you. Hence this. I love this quote. Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And that's the other thing that's happening. So if we, throughout our lives, have decided or have had someone constantly tell us that we are not worthy, we will constantly look for external reasons to prove that right. That's what that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. When you give consent to someone making you feel less than, that's because you believe it too. And you get to change that. Remember, I'm reminding you here, not judgment. Fuel for change. You can do this. And, there's just so many. I love how, Maya Angelou, she said, you alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Now, this quote speaks to the inherent worth we each possess, regardless of external elevation and validation. I know I said that before, but it's so true. Regardless of the need of someone else to approve us, we are inherently worthy. It's a reminder that we are enough just as we are, and we do not need to perform or prove ourselves in order to be worthy. And that's another piece of where we've kind of lost ourselves is in that energy of people pleasing. Because what happens is we shape ourselves inauthentically in order for the approval for others because we feel less than. I make that sound because you can see where all that energy is going. You can also see with a little bit of a hard pill to swallow what we're doing to ourselves and remembering we can change this. That's why I want you to be the mantra, information for change. I can do this. And a big part of that are words, are spells. So the way we speak to ourselves and the way we think about ourselves on the inside are creating energy or deflating us. They are opening us up and allowing us to feel confident and supported, or they're pulling us down. And this is a muscle that needs to be flexed. It is a skill that we have to learn. Again, it is not a switch that we flick, all done, all good. This is easy. There are thoughts and fears and habits that are coming and are habits. And we, with a little effort and mostly conscious awareness, can change that. And again, everything starts to ripple out from there. People will feel your confidence and they will be inspired by your willingness to make change. And also, if we can, for our younger for the legacy, if you've got kids or you've got grandkids, if you start leading from your own worth, they will learn that from you. They will see what that is, that light that is within you. You'll also be loving and supporting with people in a whole new way. And that's next level. That's next level. It is a place to play. I love this quote from Van Gogh, and it speaks to that voice, right? If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. What I love about that is it's saying your voice isn't always true. And in fact, often, especially if we're living in insecurity, it is not true at all. However, what we perceive becomes our belief, and our beliefs become true in our world. So just because we perceive it, that's not the whole truth. I'm giving you all these because this is really important. What you perceive is not the whole truth. However, what you perceive is what you believe. What you believe is true for you right now. And therefore, that's the energy that's created. So going back to those words of spells, if you believe that you are not good enough, that is how you will feel. So we need to change the belief. So I challenge the thoughts. Be a little bit Van Gogh-like here, yeah? If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint. And that voice will be silenced. Because I know that if someone that you love said to you, I can't do that, I bet you would encourage otherwise. I'm pointing my finger, soz. I do that. I bet you would encourage otherwise. So can you do that for you too? I hope you guys are all with me. You're probably just like, whoa, this is crazy. I know it is, and I'm here for you. Worthy comes from within. It is birthed in how we speak and treat to yourself. So this is how I'm moving on from that. Like the way we learn to self-support will directly impact how you feel within yourself, and that will really bring you into a place of worthy. And how you speak to yourself does not have to go from I am not worthy to I am amazing and wonderful and abundant and I'm a millionaire. It can go to I am learning how to become worthy. I am learning how to feel worthy. I am learning to change this self-talk. This is Feel for Change. That's why I use those words, because they move you forward, but they're also honest and real and encouraging. I am learning new ways of self-support. Oh, no, wait, go back. So there's another quote, and I didn't actually know who it was from, but I'm going to read it. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. I didn't get that one on the slide, but I caught it and I was like, whoa, your value doesn't decrease. I'm going to put it in the chat actually. Based on someone's inability to see your worth. Let me just throw that. I can copy that. This is what I was doing on the last one when I didn't have slides. I was like copying the quotes from the slides into the chat so people could see. Sometimes that's why I do these slides, right? They're not super extensive, but I just like to really have that visual so that you can be reading as well as listening. So that quote is a powerful reminder that our worth is not determined by others' opinions or actions. Our value is intrinsic and remains constant, no matter how others might perceive us. Because I know that for a lot of us, how an interaction goes with someone may impact whether we feel positive or negative. So if we go and visit someone, or if we have an interaction with someone on the street and they didn't make you feel amazing, or there was a little bit of conflict, or maybe they weren't having a great day, so they didn't lift you up, you go away thinking, well, I'm not good enough. It's got absolutely nothing to do with that. It just wasn't a good vibe in that moment. But we decide many things factor our worth. For me, a really big part was money. If I was struggling with money, that meant I was not worthy. I was a bad person. I was this, I was that. And I was like, well, no. Our worth is not determined by the possessions we have, by the money we have, all of that. No, that's different in terms of like how we feel secure and safe, but your worth, irregardless of any of those things. Now we get to this. So I actually had this in the slides for confidence as well, because I believe that it's the same for both. A lot of people think about their journey of change, or maybe discovering a new way of self-support, or a new mentor they want to work with, or a course they want to do, or a new book they might want to read, or a new practice, a new meditation or something. And they think, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm ready. A lot of us humans are conditioned to think that we need to feel ready in order to start something. Some of us will be waiting forever because we don't feel ready until we start. And the reason why I know this for true is because I have a lot of people that work with me, or I've done it myself. I've started something and I've gone, oh my God, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Well, A, you didn't, so it's okay. How about you just celebrate the fact that you are now? However, that is also proof that you were ready. So don't wait until you start ready to start this work. Start and you will discover you are ready. And the other reason that I share this is that we have a tendency to think this is overwhelming, this is really big, I don't have time for this, I can't do it. However, you're here, you're spending this 45 minutes, and there may be some practices that you can take away from this, or a book or a podcast or something, or I'm going to share a few options after, that you can really do to start moving this needle forward. And to be honest, it can take some real serious frustration and being quiet over it before you really want to make that change, because nobody makes change when they're comfortable, right? If we're sitting back and say, oh, this ain't so bad, you're not going to change it. We actually, and again, we get hard on ourselves about being frustrated or feeling like we're procrastinating or feeling like we're stuck. However, we actually need to get to that point to really see, no, thank you. I don't want this anymore. I need this change. Keeping an eye on the time. Okay, cool. Yeah. And as I say a lot, this is a work in progress. Trust in yourself. That's key. And that might be where you start in terms of your worthy, in terms of your self-support. So you might be writing some things down that you can be saying to yourself. I might have said some bits already that you could be saying to yourself. This is a work in progress. I am a work in progress. I am learning to find my worthy. This other one is like, I trust in myself. Or I trust in my capacity and my capability. I trust I'll figure it out. That's key. All of that is moving you towards worthy. It's moving you towards believing in yourself. I no longer have a comfort zone. Thank you. I agree. Neither do I. Well, unless it's like a Sunday morning with a coffee and a book. That's a comfort zone. And I'm cool with it. But I know I hear you. I totally hear you. And we're not meant for that. But the other thing, and this is one of the been the really big catalysts for me in my work and coming through COVID, coming through the passing of my sister, coming through a lot of challenge, is that we're not meant for comfort zone. And actually the comfort zone that we've been perceiving as safe is not safe, because we get so frustrated about things not changing. We're meant to grow. We're meant to learn. We're meant to be inspired. We're meant to try new things. We're meant to be embarrassed. We're meant to be wobbly. We're meant to be sad. We're meant to be all of those things. And that went a little bit off tangent, but allowing yourself to feel those things is definitely being worthy. Choose worthy. Remember worthy. Feel worthy. I have a little exercise for you. I'm going to guide you through it. So to start with, and you might be writing this down, that could be one of your things. I choose worthy. Now remember worthy, for some of us, might be a little bit challenging. However, for all of you, there has been a time where someone has made you or supported you to feel worthy. Now, I know that we've been talking a lot about it's not up to external factors. However, other people in your life, and I'm thinking of like grandkids or like little ones and stuff, that, or just like dear friends or whatever, they've made you feel like you're worth it. So I want you to take that feeling, remember it, and give it to you. Yeah, squiggly, not straight line. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Yep, I agree. If we can understand about that about ourselves, do you know what? I think that's a really big reason why I said that. You can tell this is not scripted, eh? But one of the reasons why I said that was because if we can understand that we are squiggly and not straight lined, if we can understand that we are all these bits and flavors and that none of them actually influence our worth, we will start to find that worth so much easier, because before we know it, all of these factors determine our worth. We wake up and we feel tired or we feel low and we're like, oh, that means I'm not a good person. We are constantly, until we choose worthy, remember what it feels like to be worthy, and someone has made us feel that way, I guarantee it, at some point in our life. And then we get to choose that worthy within us. Ooh. All of those human emotions starts to just become part of the journey. And also you realize that you are worth it. You are absolutely worth it. Let's go back. We're not there yet. So here I want to guide you into a bit of a practice because I love this. And so I want to guide us into a little bit of a meditation. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I've got a little bit some extra stuff to chat about, but I'm not going to do that until 7:45 because I'm valuing your time. But first, we're going to step into this beautiful practice. So I want to invite you to find a comfy seat if you haven't already. I want to invite you to close your eyes and soften. I want to invite you to perhaps find a little softness in the forehead, in the jaw, in the shoulders. What I didn't say is if for some reason you happen to be listening to this while driving, please don't join the meditation part. Can you more just kind of listen, but definitely don't close your eyes. Allowing yourself to arrive here in this moment, just becoming aware of yourself, your whole self, which is more than the body, which is an energy field. It is a spirit, it is a soul. Your whole self. Your whole self is so much more than our brain allows us to think. But firstly, I want you to just become aware of you in this chair. Your mind may be busy and that's okay. Just start to become aware of your external environment with closed eyes. Perhaps you notice the sounds around you as well as the sound of my voice. Perhaps you notice the smells or the sensations, the breezes or the warmth. Perhaps you can sense other movement in the room. Just becoming as aware as you can of the external environment. And we do this to build awareness. And awareness is one of the greatest tools we need to make change. To be aware of ourselves without judgment. To use this as information and fuel for change. And awareness is the key for that. So I invite you now to become aware of how you're breathing without judgment, with compassion, with love, how you're breathing in this moment. Maybe it changes when you bring your awareness to it. If that feels good, go for it. Noticing how and where you feel the breath. Is it expanding, contracting? Is it moving up and down? Is it really sliding? Or is it a little bit erratic? Is it a little bit heavy? And this is building our awareness. Building our awareness for really observing self, observing mind. Building our awareness for listening to self with that beautiful objective lens instead of one of the lenses you carry, which may be the lens of I am not worthy. That's just one lens, dude. It's just one set of glasses that you might have been wearing for a while. And we get to change that. So with your butt in the seat and your feet where they meet and your breath flowing in and out of your body, I invite you now to start to deepen that breath a little more and finding a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. And a nice, long, slow, deep breath out. And a long, slow, deep breath in. A longer, slower, deeper breath out. And keep going in that way for just a little bit longer, knowing that, newsflash, by arriving here on this call today, you have chosen that you are worth it. You may not have thought that, you may not have known that, but you, by arriving here on this call and being willing to listen, you have decided that you're worth it. Now, your insecurity might be saying otherwise right now, but it ain't true. I want you to hear it and say that. That ain't true. I am worthy. Say it on your mind. I am worth finding this loving space within myself. I am worth treating myself with compassion. You might be saying this in your mind. You might be saying it out loud, or you might just be letting the vibrations of the words ripple through your body. Kind of feel yourself open up. So if you felt maybe that your shoulders are powered down and you're a little squashed, can you sit up? Can you open your heart a little bit? I am worthy of finding this calm confidence within myself. I am worthy of choosing to treat myself as I do others. I am worthy of choosing new levels of self-support. I am worthy of being my best teammate. And you can replace teammate with cheerleader, best friend, coach, whatever. I get to be my best angel. I get to be my best level support. Just sitting in that energy of worthy. Worthy is definitely an energy of Mama Earth. So perhaps you feel the beautiful energy flowing up into you from Mama Earth. And allow your energy to drop down into her so that you feel grounded and centered and supported. Remembering that that energy is always available for you. By stepping on this call today, you chose to be in worthy. You decided that you were worth learning this beautiful concept of self-support. You chose to be here. So there's a deep part of you that already knows, even if your mind's fighting it, already knows you are worthy because you chose to be here. That's incredible. Now I want you to give yourself, even though it may feel uncomfortable, I want you to give yourself a beautiful pat on the back. Or you might visualize yourself having a warm, loving hug with you. I got me this far. I'll figure the rest out, one step at a time. I am and will always be a work in progress. Choose worthy. Remember worthy. Feel worthy. This is a gift you get to give yourself. And it is absolutely worth it. If we could all be in a place of feeling worthy, imagine how different the world would be. When we allow ourselves, now this might make you irk a little bit, but hey, when we allow ourselves to shine, to show up and take up space, we find deeper connections to ourselves and to others who are like us. That's a beautiful place to live. It's a beautiful place to live. Self-worth is a deep understanding that we are inherently valuable, regardless of anything external. Self-worth comes from in. It is about knowing that we are enough with all our strengths and flaws. It's about recognizing our inherent dignity and letting go of the need of others to affirm that value. Once we start living from a place of self-worth, we make empowered decisions, set healthy boundaries, and live in alignment with our true self. We're not meant to fit in a box. We're not meant to be people-pleasing. We're not meant to be shaping ourselves to align with others that don't serve us. We get to be ourselves. So remembering that beautiful deep connection to the earth, remembering that you are here to receive and you have. You get to make a choice. So slowly, when you're ready, you might have already come back into the space. I could feel the energy when I shared with you all, by being here, you already chose you were worth it. And that came from intuition. That actually probably didn't come from me. I called in all the support before I arrive here on this call for you. So this brings us to the end of our journey today. And please, if you've got any questions or any shares you want to chuck in the chat, I would love to answer them. And I just, you'll get the recording of this, so you can go back over anything that I share. You'll get the slides with that, so that you can remember some of these quotes, or you might have even been taking some screenshots. I hope you did. That's totally okay. The only thing I ask with the slides is that you don't send them anywhere else, or reuse them for your own stuff. Keep them for you. Keep them for you. I kind of do have to say that, although I can kind of see who everyone is attending, and I don't think that you would do that. What I wanted to share with you is that there are many ways to end. I just wanted to share there, and while I'm waiting for if there's any questions. Oh, yeah. Oh, someone can speak. Okay, we give that a go. Hello? Oh, no. Someone just... Okay. I didn't know you could do that. Someone can request to speak. Hey, if you want to speak. Go for it. But what was I doing? Okay, so what I wanted to share was there are many tools and books and beautiful things that you can read or absorb that can support you in this area. So, and a lot of the content that I've been speaking on at the moment is in and around that self-worth. If you feel like there's a deep belief that you can't quite shift on your own, I am absolutely here to support that, and have a lot of tools in the neuro-linguistic programming and other areas that can help you shift that. And so I'm aware now that we're getting to 7:45. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about a beautiful program that I've got coming up. So for any of you that maybe aren't interested in that, you can obviously drift away. If you have questions, I have a chat coming in. Yes, timing. Yes, timing. I hear you. For those of you who are interested, I'm going to share something that I've got that I'm launching, which is a 3-week program in the journey to worthy. So this is a group program. It is online. There are 3 live calls. One starts this coming Monday. Now, this is a beta program. And what that means is it's my first one ever. So I still have a lot of learning to do, and I am super aware of that. So beta means, hey, this is my first time. So if you come along for the ride with me, I'm going to charge you a whole lot less. And in exchange for your feedback and your like back and forth of like, this works, that works. And also your awareness, like, hey, this is my first time. So the big topics that we work on within this, so we've got 3 weeks. First week is release and acceptance and really understanding what that means for us. Second week is awareness and confidence. And the third week is courage and gratitude. So these just have such powerful aspects that can move us towards worthy. And sometimes, and I couldn't quite get over specific hurdles on my own. So as we've explored today, the journey of becoming, feeling, and being worthy is a powerful and transformative process. And my words are getting full now. It's about reconnecting with the truth that you are enough, just as you are, free from the need of external validation. It's about shifting the narratives that hold you back and stepping into a space where you feel confident, capable, and deserving of all the good that life has to offer you. Because that's what happens when we're in doubt and lack of security and lack of self-worth. We don't see opportunities that are available to us. We don't see the love that's around us because we're so busy keeping ourselves in that lack of. So if what we've discovered today resonates with you and you feel that it is time to really embrace that worth, I do invite you to join this program. And the beta is an opportunity for you to play at a lot less cost, which is an advantage for both of us. And over those 3 weeks, we dive deeper into the practices of self-acceptance, building awareness and confidence, cultivating courage and gratitude. And these are all tools and practices that can help you shift from living in doubt or fear to living with clarity, empowerment, and love for self. Yes, I wrote this bit out too because I really wanted to say the right thing. This program isn't about changing who you are. It's about remembering who you are and stepping into your full potential. If you're ready to begin that journey and step into your true worth and perhaps do that with me, I would love you to walk that path with me. So if you have any questions, you can absolutely get hold of me. If you've booked this, I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. Now your next question might be, what's it worth? And I'm going to share that there with you. So the total 3 weeks is $111 or $44 for 3 weeks. So, and that includes, you will have each week you'll have a live call on the Monday. You will get a movement practice, a guided audio, and a tool, plus group access to me and a WhatsApp group. So there's lots of chat for that whole time. Or if you feel like, especially if there's some wobbly bits that may have come up on this webinar, you can choose the other option, which is adding in a 90-minute coaching session. And I'm offering that 90, it's usually 155, but we've added it in for 111. And there is, I always like to make sure there is a weekly payment available too. So this is me trying to make this work more accessible for more people because not everybody can do one-on-one coaching with me. And I get that. I totally get that. And this is my way of trying to really get you over the line and nudge and experience and give you not just really share the concepts with you, but really give you tools to put in your toolkit. So you come out of these 3 weeks, if you join me, with a whole toolkit, a kit there full of worthy tools. So I'm going to come to the end of chatting about that, but I would, of course, what's that squiggly bit? I would love to have you join me. I'm going to keep the numbers probably to about 10 people. Again, first time, again, all for the learning. It's all set up and ready to go, so that's exciting. But if you want to know more, you know how to get hold of me. But I want to go back. Whoop, can I go back? What's most important is that you choose, you remember, and you feel you're worthy. I really hope that some of the lessons and the learnings from this call really go with you. If you have any questions, maybe you re-watch it and you've got questions about it, you can comment in the recording, or I'm pretty sure that you all will have booked via social media or by email. There's so many ways to get hold of me, so ask away. And if you want a link, send me a message. And so that program, if you are interested, has just been released like right now. So this is the first time I'm doing it, and it is, you guys are the first people that get to see it. So even if you're not keen, but there's parts of you that are like, I want to give you some feedback on that, I'm totally down. If you want to have a little read of the webpage and check it out and be like, nah, this bit doesn't, I would love to hear all of that, because again, it's for the learning. There's lots of juicy things inside, and I would love, love, love to see you. So, thank you for all sharing your beautiful energy. Thank you for coming along on the ride. And here's to feeling worthy more and more. Here's to one step in the right direction each and every day. And I do love that beautiful, actually, let's just close the slides. I do love the analogy of let's just be like 1% better every day. Can we find that space within ourselves to support 1% better every day? Can we learn how to speak to ourselves and treat ourselves in new ways? And know that that ripple is beyond your imagination. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. It's not lost on me how valuable your time is, and I'm really, really grateful that you chose to spend that time with me. So I'm sending you so much love and gratitude for being here. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, beautifuls. Thanks, all you wonderful people. Ciao.